due to our choices. Human beings are meant to be responsible. They're held responsible because it's a very high position in the ranking of the various species. And those who have come to this realization that I'm responsible for what goes on the palate of my mind and my heart are yogis. At the end of the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, therefore, be a yogi, Arjuna. He explains that that means discipline. And it means being accountable for one's own actions and for practicing. So of all the various practices in devotional service, chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa is a very specific discipline because we do it ourselves. Other kinds of activities in devotional service, we may walk in, sit with a group, listen. In japa, for most of the week or month, we're by ourselves and held accountable for our own responsible actions to use the tongue in service and try to control the mind and listen and so forth. It's very important to take that time whenever we have it to do the best that we can to fully concentrate and remember that when we're saying Krishna's names, he's personally present and that we're doing a service. We're serving him by using our tongue to say his names rather than to do our own business, calculate something for my own profit, glorify some other entity in this material world, and so on. And there's a cumulative effect. It's very difficult, I heard Prabhupada saying this morning, to leave this body. It's an extremely daunting proposition. So all of us that are here today are preparing for this journey. We can remember that we're getting ready to transfer ourselves somewhere else. This is just a stopover. It's not the all in all. And the best way to prepare is by doing tapasya. And the best kind of tapasya is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So the attitude that this is vital, it's important, it's service, and that it's absolutely necessary. As Rishabhadev says, Nayam deho deha bhajam riloke, kashtan kama marhate vidbhujamye. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shud yadyasmad brahma saukyam tvanantam. Human beings must do tapo divyam, or divine austerities. And there is no more divine austerity than chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa. This is confirmed by our great acharyas and by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, who emphasized what his spiritual master taught him, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalavana steva gatiranyata. There's no other way, times 3, to attain perfection other than chanting the holy name of the Lord. And can one focus one's attention in one place? This is the verdict of the Upanishads that say there is a source of everything. And if you can focus your mind and attention and love and service in that original source of everything, then you'll come to know everything and you'll satisfy all other aspects of your life. And this is called faith. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Suridanyastroy Krishne Bhakti Koilis Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. Those who have this clear understanding that Krishna is the source of everything, and therefore by focusing my mind on Krishna, all other work is done. This is not well known in the world. Everyone's splaying their energies in various directions, trying to find fortune, but you can't have it in that way. Only by focusing on the one original divine source, Krishna, can we actually fulfill our heart's desire, abhishta doham. So japa is a time to reaffirm that, to come back to that one point. Who is a person? The source of everything. And nobody is exempt. I heard Prabhupada say this morning, all the animals got together in the jungle. And they had a conference that let us become independent from man, from mankind. Humankind has been dominating us since time immemorial. Let us become free. And then the elephant stepped forward, and the elephant said, I'm the strongest animal in the jungle, and even I am under the control of the human. So then they all gave up. They said, yes, we're under control. So human beings are the spirit of the independent soul, thinking that I can find some way around material nature. I can be free here in the material world. There's already been a conference. It's already been decided. There is no other freedom except for taking shelter of Krishna. That's why Krishna says, after you finally, bahunam jambanamante jnanavam mam prapadyante, become intelligent, then sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. The important aspect of chanting japa is this realization, or these realizations, and that is that there's no other place to place my attention that will be effective other than on the holy name. And number two is, there's nothing else I can do in this world that's important except for surrender to Krishna. It's our only two jobs that we have to do. Focus our minds on Krishna, on the holy name, and practice surrendering to him in all the different ways of our life. So with these ideas in mind, let's try chanting the holy name of the Lord and focusing all our heart and soul and giving our surrender to Krishna. Gaur Premanande Haribo. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Gaura Kripa Holehe. Actually, chanting Hare Krishna is the only thing that can completely satisfy the heart. And one of the reasons is, or the main reason is, that we're part and parcel of Krishna. We have very intimate relationship with him. In one sense, we are Krishna because we're one of his limbs. On the other side, achintya, bheda, abheda, we have our own identity. It's achintya, inconceivable. But if you consider how intimate we are, how, as Prabhupada explains, if you have a limb like a finger, what you'll do to protect your finger and how you'll take care of it, and how you consider it to be important. So Krishna considers every one of us to be important because we're his limbs, we're his parts and parcels. In one sense, on one side, non-different from Krishna. And the feeling of separation from him, dvitiya, thinking that I'm something separate from him, is the cause of a completely different world, a world in which there's ignorance of that fact that we're part of Krishna, we're eternally his servants, and we enjoy in cooperation with him, just as the finger does, in cooperation with the hand and the rest of the body. So chanting Hare Krishna feels so good because we finally have that respite we need from the pounding we get in the material world when we're trying to arrange things separately from Krishna, and we're just fully putting our attention in the hands of Krishna and just focusing on his name. So just as an experiment for a few minutes, we can probably only take about 4 or 5 in the time we have left, but if I'd like you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 means samadhi, that you attained complete absorption without any, you're just fully fixed on the name. There was no fluctuation of your attention to any other place. 1 means that you were like sleeping on the floor and dreaming about some other land. And where did you end up on the scale? How do you rate yourself in the last, we had 45 minutes of chanting the Maha Mantra. So say that, a number. You don't have to give a long explanation, just a short one. and then say one thing that you find to be endearing about Krishna. Sri Madhava Mahotsava is giving himself a 7. Please justify that and then follow it by one thing that you find endearing about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Endearing, what do
Hare
you think?
Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Yes.
Please accept my
7's pretty high. Tell us about it.
One thing enduring. I switched on my camera and I don't know, maybe it was the glances of the devotees and yourself. I felt the energy and being resolute to like be really focused and shut down the Kumbh Mela if they tried to divert my attention, like just be like the arrow maker, just focused on the task at hand. And one thing endearing about Krishna I find is his holy name, so accessible. I was chanting at the playground yesterday. I was watching my son, but I was doing Harinam because I had to watch my son, and I wanted to do some Harinam too. So like the kids would come up and play the mridanga, and the holy name is available to even the tiny tots and the elders as well, the older fellows as well.
You could start a Harinam babysitting company. Take care of a bunch of babies and just have Harinam. Thank you, Sri Madhava Mahotsava. We've got Naimisharanya and Shweta Manjari Dasi. Okay, go ahead, Naimisharanya. You got the 2 Kumaras with you today.
Krishna Guru Maharaj. I think I was a 5 or a 6.
A 6? Okay. And what's one thing you find endearing about Krishna?
I find endearing about Krishna.
Like what did you do to make it a 5 or a 6?
So I like the devotional service of devotees.
Okay, so I think we were a 7 maybe, because we were able to focus on the holy name. We were able to hear it very clearly, and seeing all the devotees on the call gave us inspiration to keep going as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Naimisharanya. Anything else? That's it. Okay. Shweta Manjari.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. I would give myself maybe a 5.56. And if it's okay, can I ask a question pertaining to chanting?
Okay.
Okay, so when my rounds don't go as well as I wish they had gone, I don't want to feel guilty because I don't want to associate any negative emotion with chanting. But at the same time, like the next day I tell Krishna, okay, Krishna, I'm going to do better for you. I don't want to feel guilty, but I don't want to be complacent either. I want to continue moving forward without being too hung up on how my rounds were the next day or the day before. And after a few days of like not great chanting, it's a little discouraging and frustrating because the holy name is so much and I'm not doing it justice. And I was just wondering if you could shed some like advice on how to absorb yourself in the holy name, but even if you don't, know that it's okay and continue on with the same determination and vigor.
Well, Krishna gives a lot of nice instruction in the 6th chapter of the Gita. Every night we've been hearing from that here at our ashram. And there he talks about dhyan or meditation. And he gives this instruction to Arjuna: by suitable practice and by detachment, you'll get better at the process. And gradually, he says. So he's very encouraging. He says, take it in the mode of practice. So when you don't feel you've done well, that's a part of learning anything, is getting better at it. And you always have to have something to shoot for. So try to keep the needle right in the middle. Don't feel too guilty, and also don't get complacent. That's the trick of any discipline, isn't it? You want to stay in that preparation mode. And if you do that over a long period of time, then you become masterful at something. So you're doing really well. Just keep it up. You're going to be successful. You already are, but you'll get more and more successful. Okay, we've got Sukeshri and Malini, I believe. and then Prema and Premi. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, this morning my chanting was probably 7 for some mantras and 5 for some mantras. But this last 45 minutes, because I had finished my rounds, most of it, before I got on this call at 7 o'clock. Now my mind told me, you're done with the rounds. You remember, you're done with your rounds. You don't have to focus too much now. So I would say my rounds in the last 45 minutes was 2. So I was just trying to tell myself how amazing it is that when my rounds are done, I don't feel like chanting anymore. So I was just, thinking about my pathetic situation. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, and that it's also, there's a way in which Prabhupada indicated by hearing and chanting throughout the day at various intervals or all day long, depending on what you can do. It fortifies us and keeps us fixed in the desire to chant. Okay, Malini.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, my chanting today was around maybe 6. And what is very endearing about Krishna is that I was today when I was chanting, I was looking at the screen which has the syllable, the complete mantra. So I was following every syllable in the mantra, and I was remembering how Rupa Goswami said that there's 2 syllables, Krishna. How much nectar is there in these 2 syllables? And I was not experiencing anything, but I was just relishing how Rupa Goswami might be feeling that kind of taste that he had for the holy name. And I was praying that someday the 2 syllables Krishna can bring that. So everything is there in those 2 syllables Krishna. So I was feeling so happy just to remember that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing that unlimited nectar within the 2 syllables. Subhadra writes in, we're going to take Prema and Premi in just a second. 2, Subhadra gives a 2. I like that. A 2, and says, Krishna is endearing because he is detached from his position and he loves everybody. That's nice. Shirley said 5. He always let me know everything is okay and I'm here with you. Confident. Nice. And now we have Prema and Premi.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So today I think there was like 7, and something that helps me was the other day in the Bhakti Vriksha we did like an experiment in the Shapa part of the program, and we put one of the devotee that was voluntary to put in a loud voice the mic, and everybody hear how he or she chant, and then we give him or her a feedback. And the power of that is that when I chanted today and the other days, I was thinking about that if everybody is looking to me and listen to me. So I try to be very careful and what to say if Krishna is listening to me in my heart as Paramatma. And so that's helped me a lot.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's really, your group is really lucky to have your guidance, that you're taking such loving care of them, helping them to chant better japa and teaching them like how to be attentive and so forth. And it's just telling also that when you teach others, when you take trouble to teach others, then it comes back to you also. Like when we go out on book distribution or stay in for book distribution and somebody takes a book and then we teach them the Maha Mantra, then the next day when we're chanting, we're thinking, oh, I taught somebody the Maha Mantra, and there's a powerful echo effect that comes back. Lord Nityananda gives special taste for those who are teaching it to others. Very nice. Thank you. That's a great thing to do, is to teach, have others record and listen to their own chanting. And Gautami Ganga said maybe 5. Chanting along with devotees makes me feel that individually we may be weak jiva, but together we can make tremendous spiritual progress in reaching closer to Krishna. Nice observation, Gautami Ganga, and good to see you. Good for you. And good for everybody. Thank you very much for coming in here and spending your time. This is what the Aimukta Kaleru Passimanam, all the great souls who are liberated, they do this Hare Krishna. And anybody who's in this circle who's chanting Hare Krishna is right in there with the great souls. You're just doing what they do. And it's really important to cultivate a knowledge and stay in the association of Srila Prabhupada's books to remember what the goal of life is, because it's so easy to forget. Everybody will tell you that it's something else. The goal of life is to try to make money. The goal of life is to try to enjoy the material world in this way or that, or then they'll tell you some Mayavad thing that there is no Krishna, this and that. So we actually have to hear every day from Prabhupada's books to hear his voice. He perfectly phrased everything so that we could stay fixed in the process of Krishna consciousness and not waste even a day or an hour or a moment, which is a good place to be because we don't have that much time. And we need to develop ourselves to get ready for the transfer. We're all transferring out of here really soon. We already have a transfer slip in our hands. The printing on the slip can be changed by how we use our time, use our independence. So thank you very much. This morning, I'm doing a presentation along with the Bhakti community team to all the temple presidents and GBC leaders in North America, because a lot of people are interested in these outreach initiatives, and Bhakti community is one of them. So that starts in just a little less than an hour. So my humble apologies for not being with you for the class this morning, but I'll make up for it on other occasions. I'll do my utmost. Oh, I forgot. I was going to say something I thought was endearing about Krishna. And that is, can I see that? Can we see that picture of Krishna with the butter pot? I just want to point something out. I have this picture in my room also. And I notice this regularly, but just take a look. Look at his jewelry. He's a little baby, but look how cool he is. He's got these anklets, bracelets, and he's got this like tiger nail around his neck. It's very kind of like the, bohemian. I mean, he's a little baby, but he's got this total style going on here in this picture. Like all these far out necklaces and bracelets and so forth. I just think it's really endearing. Krishna is so cool. The way he dresses, even as a baby, is totally cool. So you can keep your mind fixed on all the endearing qualities of Krishna, because he's a person. Everything comes from a person. It's not impersonal or void. It's not nothing. And that's the essence of life, is to understand that there's an original, personal, loving, cool source to everything. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Haribo. See you soon. Krishna willing.